And for more on America's gun control challenge and how to address it, let's bring in professor and author Robert Spitzer. He's lectured and written extensively on gun control. Sir, thanks for coming on a holiday weekend.
Good to be with you.
You've written several books on gun policy, including The Gun Dilemma. So explain, if you will, to viewers, what exactly is the gun dilemma in this country and how politicized is this issue?
Well, your setup suggests what's going on with this gun dilemma in America. Large majorities of Americans favor stronger gun laws, and in fact, surveys of gun owners in America show that most gun owners favor stronger gun laws than what we have on the books now. And there have been a huge number of studies, a growing number of studies showing exactly the beneficial effects of various kinds of gun measures that have been enacted in more liberal states, and a few things that have happened at the federal level. On the other hand, you have a very entrenched and fierce gun rights community. People out in the country, not a large number, not a large number as a percentage, but a very vocal and highly motivated group of people who buy guns, who get guns, and who believe that guns represent not just a thing to use to go hunting or target shooting, but for political purposes. And they believe in an absolutist right to have guns for any and every purpose. And behind that is a very, very conservative Supreme Court that has actually broadened the definition of gun rights in America. And this has led to some gun laws being declared unconstitutional, whereas before they had been upheld. So you have the law and this movement seemingly going in one direction, but public sentiment and effective laws going in the opposite direction.
How do you account for the fact that we have more gun violence compared to any other country? Is it just that we have more civilian guns than any other, about 120 guns for every 100 people, according to one global survey?
Well, the short answer is yes. And we see this very clearly when you compare American crime generally to crime rates in similar nations around the world. Our American crime rates are about the same as those in other nations, except for gun homicide, gun murder, gun suicide, and gun-related crime. And those numbers are far, far, far higher than those of any other nation. And it's simply because we are awash in firearms, and there is no interpersonal implement or tool that is more effective at harming or killing another human being than a gun. And when you place a gun in a criminal situation or in a situation of potential conflict, we know that the presence of guns tends to escalate that conflict, not the reverse. And that leaves us with a very high murder rate and also an even higher gun suicide rate, a fact that is often unrecognized.
So what more needs to be done to prevent guns getting into the hands of the wrong people? Only about 40 seconds left, sir.
There is more being done in the states. Things like universal background checks before you get a gun, like red flag laws, like mandatory gun storage requirements. Many of the crimes committed in public schools by children, for example, involve guns that they've taken from their parents because they weren't locked up. What a simple thing that could do to deal with at least some of the kind of gun violence that we see in America.
It's a very difficult topic, and I see it feels like we just keep going round and round in circles. We have these solutions that are thrown out, they don't get put into place, and then we hear of another mass murder. So we'll see what 2025 brings, but thank you so much for your time and perspective on this issue, Robert Spitzer.
Good to speak with you.